Bible prophecy is active and unfolding daily. Zechariah 12, Isaiah 17, Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38. Here is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Shalom, my friends, and welcome to my first newscast in the year of 2018. Zowie. It really is hard to believe, isn't it? We saw the most eventful year in terms of Bible prophecy that anyone has seen in decades, if not centuries. But I'm not going to do that events of 2017 in a nutshell thing like most do at the end of the year or at the beginning of the next year for two reasons. Number one, I never do anything that most others do or are doing. And number two, Pastor JD knocks this one out of the park for all of us. So I'll just let you watch his presentation on it and click the link I have for you below. Now, I'm not sure if JD mentioned it, but the world's most powerful earthquake happened in 2017. 2017, a most amazing year. And posts on social media showed locals speaking of the death toll being in the thousands and scores more injured. At least 85,000 earthquake victims are enduring dire circumstances, with 18,000 homes completely destroyed and another 50,000 suffering major damage. Meanwhile, Iran allocates billions of dollars to prop up the Assad regime in Syria, fund the Lebanese Hezbollah, support Yemen's Houthis, and back Shiite militias in Iraq. This goes alongside further billions pumped into an unnecessary nuclear program and a dangerous ballistic missile drive. Of course, there are all kinds of worthless reports about so many being up in arms about Trump's decision to honor our 22-year-old promise to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. But I'm not going to waste your time or mine on all that empty chatter, my friends. From the Wall Street Journal, Iran's biggest wave of street protests in almost a decade, which began last week on Thursday, is presenting a mounting challenge to the country's leadership as demonstrations mushroomed this past Sunday. A video shared on social media showed unrest in dozens of cities, with large numbers of people in the streets chanting against the leader of Iran. Things are ramping up everywhere, my friends, as Yeshua told us they would in the first few verses of the book of Revelation. Last year, I began my third video series called Walking in the Word. And aren't we all enjoying that one? It's been so much fun for me, my friends, and I'm really surprised at the anointed messages that wound up emerging through consecutive episodes. I mean, if you do a Walking in the Word binge, you'll see what I mean. Like the message that runs through a few episodes about you can't own the things of Elohim, or the more recent message that is still emerging about the music project I'm working on with Mark Palladino, and also the puzzle message, which keeps revealing ideas about how our learning and getting washed by Yahweh's word actually works. Well, this year, I'm implementing a brand new series, which will actually be replacing my Thursday Word Study series, which was my very first and now comprises the bulk of nearly 1,000 videos that I've produced in the past approximately 10 years now, I think. But beginning this Thursday, January 4th, 2018, and happening every Thursday thereafter, I'll be doing a live stream broadcast on YouTube only, my friends, that focuses on feeding Yeshua's lambs and fellowshipping for real live. That means we'll be doing word studies like we always have, but we'll be doing them together, live and on the air, as they used to say, where you can ask me questions and I can answer them as we chavar, as we really fellowship together, chavarim. These won't have titles, but rather they'll be numbered, or I don't know, caregiver might give them titles and descriptions. I'll be a little bit lazy about that, but I have a feeling she'll take care of that. But anyway, these they'll be numbered like my Walking in the Word series is. So this Thursday, we will create together Feeding Yeshua's Lambs number 1. And take note, the live stream will not appear on Vimeo, only on YouTube. Vimeo, it's too complicated and, extremely expensive, and you're limited to like 5 hours a month. I think YouTube is like you're limited to 5 hours per broadcast. So the live event where, you can come and see it all happening and look at the chat area, that's on YouTube only. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. Click that bell up there that, sends you notifications and all that kind of stuff. But also I'll be letting you know each week on this Tuesday newscast, what's up in the coming Thursday deal. So if you have a problem with it only being on YouTube, you can let me know what that problem might be in the comments below, although I'm not sure I can do anything about it. Now, a foundational aspect of this new series is that I have no plans for anything. Remember? I don't know nothing. I love that phrase because when I say I don't know nothing, it means that he does, his indwelling Ruach takes over because I'm letting go and things go best. Now, the broadcast on Thursdays will pretty much always be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday. East, where the light comes from. But know that there will be times when my schedule doesn't allow me to be up at that hour. So there will be Thursdays when there is no live stream broadcast. But when that happens, instead, you'll see me, I'll be doing something like a Sitting in the Word video or something like that. Now, maybe it'll even be me answering questions that we couldn't get to for one reason or another when we did the live streams. So that would be cool too. And you're going to love this part. Christopher Maskey, Paul Skatarski, and Scotty Clark. Anyone or all three of them at the same time, they're all subject to appear or not, or they could appear or disappear at any time during any one of these live broadcasts. It's going to be a you just never know what's going to happen kind of thing, because it is the Ruach HaKodesh who is orchestrating this whole thing and making sure that this is going to be true fellowship as Elohim wants it to be. But Scotty, Paul, Christopher, They're just going to have an open door policy. They'll be able to, whenever I'm doing it live, they can show up before I start. They might show up somewhere in the middle of it. They might show up at the end of it. They all have open tickets. And I told them, I says, you're never required. You're never expected. It's like, pray, go with the Ruach. Maybe you be watching us. And then you see something and you go, oh, I have something to share about that will feed Yeshua's lambs. And then boom, all of a sudden, one of them will pop in. That'll make it fun. Unexpected stuff. Now, Caregiver will be our moderator, Chavarim. She will be overseeing the chat area, watching for any surprise guests, letting us know what's going on, delivering your questions and or comments to me as she sees fit. You're not going to see her. She'll just be there, on the sidelines, and you'll hear her voice. If she wants to turn her camera on and appear, that's up to her. If she doesn't, that's up to her. But she will be our moderator. She'll be watching everything that's going on and letting us all know what's happening when it's important for us to know. If you have any questions, you can leave them below. If you have questions you want me to answer in this coming Thursday's live stream, list them below today's newscast. And Caregiver she'll collect them. And, as advanced questions to get the live stream off with. And note, if you can't make it for the actual live event, you can post your question under the newscast, like here today. And then if I answer it on Thursday, maybe you can't make it, but whenever you can watch it, after it's all finished, it'll become available on YouTube. Then you can watch the live thing after it happened, and you'll hear your answer from me when you play the video. Now, at any rate, think before you post any questions or comments, my friends. If you want me to consider your question, be sure it's a question that's worthwhile, one that will feed Yeshua's lambs. Yes? And be aware of this. You will not be able to post a comment and then post another one and another one in quick succession. Once you post a comment, you won't be able to post again for 2 or 3 minutes. So, make your comments count, know what they are beforehand. I want all of you to be focused on what we're doing. And sometimes those chat areas can just get out of hand. So I'll be starting this Thursday's live stream on January 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Caregiver, of course, will always be with us. And who knows, Scotty might pop in, Paul or Christopher. All three of them may be there. We'll see. So that's that. I spent a lot of time on that, but this is a big deal. Now, Betty Demers did a live stream for an hour on New Year's Eve. And she also put up a very cool video, my friends, earlier that day, titled, Attempt at Speaking the Truth in Love. I have links for you below so you can watch. Honestly, Betty has a way of delivering Yahweh's truth from her heart that's absolutely precious. Patriska. Be sure to watch and share her video titled, Attempt at Speaking the Truth in Love. Turning to wars and rumors of wars, on Friday, December 29th, from Ynet News, Israel's Iron Dome system intercepted 2 missiles fired from Gaza at Israeli communities on the Gaza perimeter. And from VOA News, Israeli tanks and aircraft struck the Gaza Strip on Friday after 3 rockets were fired from the Palestinian enclave towards Israel. The attacks occurred as thousands of Palestinians took to the streets of Gaza and the occupied West Bank for a 4th straight day in protest of U.S. President Donald Trump's decision on December 6th to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Then from Egypt today, fierce clashes erupted between the U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces and ISIS on the eastern banks of the Euphrates River in the outskirts of Deir ez-Zor. The Syrian Democratic Forces aim to advance on ISIS, while ISIS has managed to control the city of Abu Hammam and surrounding areas. Now turning to our Intifada update on Wednesday, December 27th. From the Jerusalem Post, Israeli police arrested an 18-year-old Palestinian girl who repeatedly attempted to cross into Israel at one point using the documents of her 7-year-old sister. After attempting to resist the police officers, she revealed that she intended to carry out a terrorist attack in Jerusalem. An 18-year-old girl. On Thursday, December 28th, from the Times of Israel, some 1,000 Jewish worshippers holding prayers outside the tomb of Yehoshua ben Nun in the northern West Bank early Thursday, at a site secured by the army, were attacked by Palestinians hurling stones and firebombs. Looking at our review of last week's news, Israel's Iron Dome system intercepted 2 missiles fired from Gaza at Israel communities on the Gaza perimeter, while Israeli tanks and aircraft struck the Gaza Strip after 3 rockets were fired from the Palestinian enclave towards Israel. Fierce clashes erupted between the U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces and ISIS on the eastern banks of the Euphrates River. Israeli police arrested an 18-year-old Palestinian girl who repeatedly attempted to cross into Israel to carry out a terrorist attack in Jerusalem. And some 1,000 Jewish worshippers holding prayers in the West Bank were attacked by Palestinians hurling stones and firebombs. And that, my friends, is what the LameStream Media is not telling you. Abba willing, I'll see you here again next week. Until then. I'm sorry, I like doing that. It's like, hand signals. You should know what this means, right? That, and that. Keep your wicks trimmed. And keep your lamps burning bright. Shalom, my friends.
Crowded rooms, I need more space than I consume. Enough is time alone with you, underneath a naked moon, sharing confidential moods and making chatter. Mockingbird nocturnal sings notations of eternal things, entering the quantum breeze, flying not for want of wings. He lights his gaze on you and me, simply because we matter.